Ashish Anthony is a first-generation Indian entrepreneur and canine specialist who co-founded India's leading pet care retail chain, Just Dogs, in 2011 with Purvi Anthony. His career began in the 1990s with the consumer goods sector, where he built a distribution network for a multinational oil and gas company, and later launched a retail network for a British bank in Gujarat. Under his leadership, Just Dogs has rapidly expanded to over 50 stores and an omni-channel platform offering nearly 14,000 pet care products. Mr. Anthony also trained at the Canine Police Dog Center in Holland. We are thrilled to extend this platform to the visionary leader behind this successful paradigm in the industry.
Thank you.
Over to you.
No, it's good. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I'd like to congratulate IIPTF for having this sort of a dialogue. It took me back many years. In 2010 was the first time me and Purvi had come to a trade fair. That was before we launched Just Dogs. And if we'd known so many things that people were talking about over here, I would have made less mistakes and saved a lot of money. So here we go. So I'm going to be talking about specialty retail. Now, lots of what is there in this presentation you would have already seen. Sorry, I've got a bad throat today. That's why I had to have room temperature beer yesterday. So please forgive me. So we're going to talk about specialty retail. Now, like I said, most of what you'll see in my presentation would have already been done by all the other distinguished guests here, because we are a channel. So most brands would say the same thing, most service providers would say the same thing, and also the other channels would kind of say the same thing about the pet industry. So that's the disclaimer I'm trying to give, because I'm going almost last. I'm sure everybody, barring a few, would have got into this industry because of the love for pets. I know I did. I was in the corporate sector for about 18 years and had pets, and the time I was thinking about doing something of my own, this is what I chose to do, pet. And again, because I thought I was good in retail, that's the reason why I chose retail. And like I told you the story about, in 2010, we came over here, found so many things. We had to go around different stalls, look at different products, and then build from there. And that is the reason why I think all of us are extremely fortunate to be working in this particular industry, because trust me, while you work in other industries, sometimes you get dejected, you need motivation, but when you are working with pets, it's motivation every day. You see a fish, a dog, a cat, or so many other pets now, and you are thrilled. Every day is different and every day is so exciting. And that is the reason why this is even though it is called specialty retail, it is extremely special. So like I told you, I got into this business because of a German Shepherd I had, Reeves. Our logo carries his name, and that is how we are in this business. And we learned so many things out of that. So it is very special. We're going to explore a little bit about, I'm sure everybody knows how things are happening now, how things are going to turn forward. It is more related to also the retail sector, not only the pet sector. I believe if you close your eyes to what is happening around you, then sometimes you are more often left behind and then doing the catching up. So the rest of the industry, the retail industry, is very fast and changing every day. So that's the reason why I guess we also need to just keep up with the same. If I go back to a little before we started, though the industry still is very organized, maybe 10, 12 years back, it was extremely disorganized. So we would not know a pet store. If you went to a pet store, the person sitting in the pet store would not know much about it. You would kind of try to figure out what you want and try to get it from there. Today, it is far, far better. It is much, much more informed. Whether it's a mom and pop pet store, a person who started a pet store everywhere, or whether it's a specialty retail, a chain brand, everywhere, because of the awareness that is happening and the awareness that everybody, like we were looking at the influencers, the awareness they were trying to, though one thing I did not agree with them, they said about, I mean, it's a joke. So they said it's very difficult to get a dog or a cat to do something that my mom used to tell my daughter. When my dog used to sit, she used to say, "Dekh, usko bola बैठ, कैसा बैठी है? तेरे को बोले तो होता ही नहीं है तुझसे." So I think it's the other way around there. So now it's much better, and I think the future is very, very bright with a lot of technology coming in, and I think this is only going to grow exponentially. So, like I said earlier, it used to be single stores, pretty unorganized. When you would go to a store, it would be maybe smelling a bit. Not too many people were waiting in the store or going around searching for things. They would kind of pick up whatever they wanted to do. Today, the customer experience in most of the stores is amazing. People wait around at the stores, have a discussion with the person who's the advisor, talk to him about different foods, talk to him about different products, how to use them, and that is the reason why India is changing, and we are talking about specialty retail. When we talk about specialty retail, this is just for the benefit of some new people who may not be in retail. Anything which has something specific is called specialty retail. Like Bata in shoes would be specialty retail, like Chroma for electronics would be specialty retail, and that is why we call it specialty retail, because most of it is related to pets. Otherwise, you have the general retail, which is the D-marts and the lifestyle of the world, where they've got everything else, the supermarkets and the hypermarkets. Pet parenting in this time has come a long way. We've seen earlier when we started, we used to have large dogs. The bigger the dogs, the better it was. Today, we see most people who are acquiring pets, 50% of the dogs are small breeds. More than 53% of the cats now live indoors. Earlier, people used to have cats, and the cats used to run around. And mostly, I think, I don't get into religions, but generally, I would see Parsis, Muslims, Goans having cats more because they used to have a lot of non-veg, and the cats would come around, and that's how. So today, you've got most cats living indoors with people, and that is why you see a lot of companionship, much more care. You see the dogs and cats now jumping on people's beds, on the sofas, everywhere else. Sometimes they're sitting where even I don't sit on my working table. So those sorts of things are happening. Overall, even in the general retail trade, it is getting organized much, much fast. Worldwide, retail contributes, as far as the workforce is concerned, as far as turnover is concerned, huge amounts into the industry. India was a bit behind. We are much, much more unorganized. Now, general retail is also getting organized, and that is the reason why even our pet retail, that's why you see so many. When we started off, there was no chain. Today, I think you've got at least 10 chains in pet stores that you can name across the country. You've got larger stores with wider variety of products. You've got categorization which is happening. When I started, even before I started, even now I go abroad, when I went abroad, you see large stores, because there is, I think every category is built. Apart from food, you've got travel, you've got accessories, you've got training, what every other category. In India, I think only food and its subcategories are right now built, and that is why almost 70% of whatever is the turnover in India is basically food. Premiumization again is happening. People are buying better food, better clothes, better equipment to take care of their pets. and that is the reason why the upscale. These are some of the reasons which are basically the key drivers. Uh, many more pets. The pet penetration, I guess, in India is about 2.3% to the population. Where you compare that to the US, that's more than 50% to the population and growing. So you've got about 32 million plus dogs and 5.5 million plus cats and growing every year. That is a huge number. The multiple income in households plus lifestyles and the family is getting much smaller is causing people to get pets. That is another reason. There is a lot of emphasis now on education. That's the reason why every brand, every store, every person maybe in the pet industry is trying to educate everybody else to take care of pets much better. So the awareness is getting much better. Pet humanization is happening. So we said 10, 12 years back, a pet used to be a pet. People used to keep their dog outside their house, basically for security purposes. Today, because it is more companionship, so it is more. So that's the reason why you see dogs wearing clothes. You see dogs having their own beds and they're having their own rooms, and so on and so forth. So these are basically most of the reasons why this growth is happening throughout. Number of pets and the way people are taking care of their pets. I'm sure everybody's talked about this. This makes India lucrative, though it is just start. That's the reason why a lot of people are looking towards our country. They say by next year it will be a 1 billion market. I mean, when you say 1 billion, these are most of the research agencies which find out. I feel it's much bigger because it is unorganized. Not a lot of people are able to capture those numbers. So for example, livestock and training and so on and so forth, because it happens mostly in cash, it's very difficult to get those numbers. But more or less by next year you should be about 1 billion. And if what some people say a very other extreme of the growth, they are talking about 24%, which I would love to see it growing that way. If it grows at that pace, by 2030, you should be at 35,000 crores, which will be huge. Majority of this is again because of the hard work of all the food companies, the MNCs that have come, tried to convert people from home food to dog food, all the stalwarts of the industry who've imported a lot of products, who've imported a lot of foods, got it into India, exposed people to from economy food to all different types of foods. They worked hard, and that's the reason why, yes, they have the lion's share, which is about 70%. And now with wet foods and mixed feeding and fresh foods and multiple that is coming, it is taking center stage. So 70% of that volume is already there. Even services is expected to grow. So services used to be pretty small. So when I say services, it is veterinary services, it is grooming, it is training. All the other services would be about half a billion by about 2025. So all that is extremely good because services also gets profitability in most of the other of the businesses. This is a very favorite subject of mine, where every time I come and talk about this, I see so many people having different groups, and different groups having different discussions on getting associations and trying to build certain things. I have always told people, everybody needs to work extremely hard in this sector first to build the sector. Because if you have a big sector, then you can have multiple things. There's no point in somebody, that's the reason why every large company is investing to build the sector. You see multinationals investing, companies like us investing, other small brands investing, and it is to build the entire sector. I mean, there's no point in somebody trying to consolidate right now, but build rather than get together to regulate people. Because most people try to make an association and then they want to regulate that you can do this and you can't do that and so on and so forth. I think everybody should get together to build. Most important, for example, like I say, categories. So you've got breeders, then you've got veterinarians. So if you don't have breeders who are breeding dogs, you won't have people acquiring pets. If you don't have pets, there might be some not so great breeders or pets whose health is not so good. And then how do you have vets if every pet is good and healthy and jumping around fine? So you need that. Then you need veterinarians to take care of those pets, to ensure that the lives of pets are long enough. You need brands to ensure that you've got good products which are reaching the pet parents. You've got every other accessory that you need to train that pet, to ensure that the safety of that pet. So all of us need to get together. You need a lot of importers who've been importing. There are some like Bharat Bhai, he's been importing for years, getting people accustomed to new products over there, what happens abroad, because not everybody can go abroad, seek products and come back. So everybody needs each other. So that's the reason why forums like this, where you can get together, collaborate with each other, help each other out. There is no Bible already written in the Indian market where you can go flip some pages and see whether we can do this, or you will make mistakes and you learn from that. Please also talk to somebody else, because they've made mistakes and they might teach you what to do and what not to do. But always make your own decisions, because sometimes somebody makes a mistake and he drops an idea, but innovation only happens when people tell you things are not possible. So that's why you've got to keep working on it and work hard. Again, you've got brands, you've got products which are brands, people who are building new products which are brands, that's separate. Then there are services which are there, veterinary services or grooming services. There are services which are brands. And then there are channels like us. So you've got channels where you've got small shops, you've got chains, you've got e-commerce, and now you've got quick commerce. For some people, I had gone to Germany for the Interzoo, and I was talking to somebody over there, and I just talked about this word quick commerce, and he said, "What is that?" And I said, "It comes quick, so you can get." So when my daughter was making poha one day, and she forgot the nimbu, and I said, "Where is the lemon?" She said, "Wait 2 minutes." And if she had to walk, it would have not even been 100 meters for that lemon guy over there. Quick commerce. So the guy in less than 10 minutes got the lemons over there. So today in India, you can get anything in less than 10 minutes, free of charge, delivered at your home, and that is quick commerce. And that's where the rest of the world is now going. So before you blink an eye, so people are selling socks, people are selling belts, people are selling the works online, and it comes to their house in 10 minutes. And when people are spoiled for a particular way of getting things done, first you also need to get there, otherwise you'll be history. So I'll give you an example. I used to tell, when I go to my stores, I tell people that you need to treat people extremely good, as if they've come to a Mercedes-Benz showroom, or if they're in a premium lounge. They used to ask me, "Why, sir? Why you need to do that?" I said, "Because that guy is doing all those things. He's flying, he's coming in a Mercedes, he's coming in a BMW, and he's being treated at all those places special. Just because you're a pet store, you can't treat him different. He's used to being treated that way." So now if, for example, your dog food, if he's getting the most mundane of things in 10 minutes, why should he wait for 5 days for your dog food to arrive? So it needs to be quick, and that is why all of us need to get together to get there, to at least, if not beat them, compete with them. So everything that happens, so one of the days I had my team meeting and I said, "Boss, can you tell me who pays your salary?" So different people gave me different answers, and then somebody correctly said, "The customer." So everything happens for the customer. If you're trying to build a brand which the customer doesn't need, I can tell you, even before you start, it's not going to work. It has to solve a purpose. It has to be for the customer. And the customer today needs the moon. So there is a very old song of Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know if you must have heard. "Chand tare tod laun, sari duniya ko main paun. So bas itna sa khab hai." So customer today wants everything. So he wants wide variety of products. Oh, sorry, this page and this page were not matching. Yeah, so he needs a wide variety of products. he needs value. So it's not that he needs something cheap or he needs very costly. And trust me, India is a very difficult market. India, people want everything, whatever it is, but they want it at a decent price. Yes, you still have people buying LV bags, and that's a different, but you've got that number is extremely small. And I always believe you're going to be a successful business if the number of customers that you are catering to is large. If the number of customers you are catering to is small, you don't know, the fluctuation is going to be very, very high. And that's what they are talking about. Again, the expectation of convenience. So whether the customer needs a particular product right now or not, it does not matter. It is how used to he is becoming of getting something in say 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Then he's not going to wait for a very, very long time. And he generally gives you an example that if I can get something which is so mundane, maybe a coconut oil, hair oil, in 15-20 minutes, why should he wait for 2 days for something which the dog, as important as food for the dog to wait for 2 days. So that is how it is. Most importantly, earlier it used to be not so important. Today it is advice, personalized service. I took a taxi yesterday evening and I paid double the cost for that taxi from the airport just because that guy called me, he said, sir, would you like to have a taxi? Spoke to me nicely, and there was the normal Bombay cool cab. They were just sitting over there, aana hai to aao, nahi to theek hai types. So even though they were charging say 400-500 rupees, I would rather pay 600-700-800 rupees and go there. So it is more important. And I think omni-channel is the way forward. I've kept on saying this for the last 3 years maybe. A customer behavior has changed. He wants to be treated at different touch points similarly. So whether you're delivering it at home, whether you're delivering it to him at the store or online, he wants to be treated the same, and he wants it. I'll give you an example. I remember as a small school kid, I used to go and buy Bata shoes. So my mom and dad used to take my hand and we used to go to the Bata shoes, and before the school there used to be so many children. And the guy at the Bata counter did not bother. He said, this is the shoe, one naughty boy shoe. I don't know whether they still sell it over there. It was called naughty boy shoe. So whether you liked it or not, that you would get. If they did not have, you came back to a number. 4 days back, I had the Bata salesman coming to my house with 6 pairs of shoes. And he was getting me to try on because I had gone over there. I had wanted one particular model of shoe, and I said, do you have this? And he says, no, sir, I don't have it over there. I said, no problem, I'll buy it. So most of my buying I actually do on airports now because that's the only place I have time. So I thought when I go to the Delhi airport, there is a Hush Puppy showroom over there. I might buy it over there. But next day he came to me with 6 pair of shoes and I was shocked. I said, Bata, come into my house. I did not even dream about it. And that's what's going to happen. You will be taking products to the customer's house with 4 differences. Boss, please make a choice. Because yes, I understand that he can do it online and multiple things that he can do. But if you wait for the customer to do it, he might not do it. And he is not waiting or coming back to you. Once the customer goes out from your shop and he's not in your control anymore, he might become somebody else's customer. So that's extremely important. Oh, sorry. See, I told you my tech and me don't go so well. Technology is going to take over the retail space in a jiffy. So you already have AI. So I have, when I talk, I joke about AI. Today, some of my employees, when they want to send a request for a holiday, I get very long mails now and very innovative mails. And I think it is all basically thanks to ChatGPT. And that is exactly where things are going to happen. AI is going to take over multiple things. In retail, I always say retail is detail. You need to not do anything great. You need to do small things correctly every time. And only computers do small things correctly every time. Because humans try to innovate every time. So that is why when you need repetitive things to happen, AI is going to take over. So you will have AI which will basically help to do manage customer behavior. It will be preempting that. It will tell you when the customer might buy. It will do inventory management. It will do a lot of forecasting for you. IoT will also take over for a lot of inventory tracking and multiple things like that. Your CRMs are also, I'm sure everybody would, okay, thank you. So I'm sure everybody would know CRMs and how to take care of that, how to take care of the customer, what the customer needs, getting feedback from customers, and those important things. In the retail space, you've got so many other things. You've got beacons now where if you go to a particular area, it throws a message to you, or WhatsApp, those kind of things that can happen. You've got interactive displays where you go abroad, you are talking, you're interacting with a maybe TV screen or something, talking or understanding about a product that is happening. So all the, I'm not saying this is what we are doing. So just disclaimer there, Just Dogs is not necessarily doing this, but this is where everything is going, and I'm sure we'll also need to do the same thing eventually. You've got virtual consultations. Lots of people now have got applications and websites where they're virtually consulting for behavior, they're virtually consulting for basic veterinary consultations and so on and so forth. You are also seeing mobile payments happening at different places. So all these things, internet is taking over in retail. It is going to be very good. It is going to be faster. Things that took a lot of time at the counter are going to be much easier, and that is why this is really important, and we need to take care of that. Some roadblocks, logistics, sourcing, these are major constraints. Specifically for the pet industry, if you're trying to ship something from one place to the other, you have problems with rat bites, they are not able to take care. If you tear a bag, it's very difficult to sell. Even sometimes now, even in the same city, when you're trying to use third-party logistics partners, they don't know how to take care of a bag. And if you tear a bag of, say, Origin or something like that, it is really costly, it pains you. So these are some things that are happening. Compliance is a very important issue today. If you come into retailing, it's getting difficult. You need to have most of those pictures of GST and shops and establishments, all those things pasted over there. Now, earlier we used to have a nice beautiful TV with some ads running. Now that entire space has got taken up there with 7 or 6 different pages which you need to stick to show, because if an officer comes and if he's in the bad mood, then you're gone. An important thing for everybody, specifically brands, my request, please take legal metrology very seriously. Ensure your product has got everything pasted over there properly. It is extremely difficult for us, because trust me, every day in one shop I have somebody coming over there and picks up something from somewhere. Please take it very seriously. They look at multiple things. They are just looking for mistakes, and they even threaten you that even if you don't make a mistake, he can find a mistake over there, because they are also very innovative guys. For example, he picked up a bag and he said, what is the country of origin? So I said, it is here. He said, why should I turn the bag and see? So that's his perspective. And unfortunately, after 2 notices, the third is jail. So the other places, I'm not frightening you, but I'm just saying, please take it seriously. The first notice comes to the channel, then it comes to you. And unfortunately for me, with say 14,000 SKUs, somebody somewhere might go wrong. Specifically with new brands, please make space over there. Please ensure all the information that they require, country of origin, manufacturer, phone, everything. Don't worry, we don't bother, we don't look at who manufactured and go over there. Some people do, but majority does not work. It's very difficult. A retailer does well as a retailer, a manufacturer does well as a manufacturer. So don't worry about that. You'll have price competition, you'll have price wars. These are certain small things which are there, but you've got to live with it. That's happening everywhere else. You can't get away from it. There are some people trying to control pricing, but we'll try and cooperate, and let's do as much as possible, but it's very difficult. One, it is against the law, so that's why it is very difficult, competition law, and you need to still work around that. Most important roadblock today is cost efficiency. Trying to see, if you're trying to sell first to acquire the customer, there is cost, then to discount there is cost, then to sell, reach it to him, there is cost. So that is, and today, speed. So cost has become second, speed has become primary. You can't wait because by the time, nowadays, people ordered 3 places. Whoever delivers first, he gets it. The other 2, because he's not paid, he says, thank you, sorry, I've already taken it. So that's what happens. So this is another roadblock. Again, Aladdin ka chirag is the only thing which will maybe solve the most of these problems. But yes, you'll have to build a good and resilient supply chain system. You'll have to leverage technology. It's very, very important. The more you use technology, the better, the faster you will go. It becomes much more scalable. And with your second biggest, I mean, for people like us, sometimes in other brand cases, maybe after the equipment, employee will be the second biggest cost. For us also, employees are the second biggest cost. Yes, it is the best asset. Most importantly, I always tell you, please take care of people. They're very, very important. But wherever you can look at having technology, because it can give you consistency and scalability. So that is what you can do. Again, this is an example of that. Let's create ecosystems where everybody can come together. It supports new startups. It supports pets, pet parents, gives much more information, is more collaborative. We can learn from you. Lot of things I learn from whenever I come over here. That's why I'm very, very keen to come over here. Generally, I don't go out and have discussions. I'm basically shy when talking to audiences, but whenever I come here, even if I interact a little bit, there are new things to learn, and it is good. I read somewhere that intelligent people will learn from everybody, average people will learn from mistakes, and stupid people know everything. So please keep on learning. We'll need to focus on sustainability, innovation, community. This strangely, I had gone to UK for something, and I was not thinking about these things so much, and I found somebody who went and gave a gift of Hugo Boss perfume to another person. And I was surprised, I did not know. So he said, no, I am not going to use this, you take it back, because the founder or owner of Hugo Boss had something to do with Nazism. I said, boss, they think so much, I didn't even know. And yes, this generation thinks about all those things. My children think about so many different things. So I think this is extremely important. So please, again, sorry, I'm a bit behind, I guess. Yeah, we are in a business which is emotion driven. Yeah, this is my last kind of slide. So we are in a business which is emotion driven, passion driven. So I'm sure everybody is going to enjoy it. Yes, the future is extremely bright because we are just at the start. Everything is only going to get better over here. Please stick to whatever you are doing, even if you think it is tough. 23 and 24 were tough years. It's going to get just better from here onwards. Stick to it and let's innovate for the future. Let's try and see and understand the customer needs better so that you are able to counter whatever his needs are. Thank you.
Mr. Ashish Anthony from Just Dogs.